Hello, beautifuls, and welcome to a special edition Makeup Obsessed Monday. You'll notice there's something a little bit different. I'm live with you today, which means I am going to be getting ready on air with you guys today so you can see what a typical day looks like for me. Great thing is you can jump in and you can comment below on the questions that you guys have, and I will be able to answer them live. So, we'll take hello beautifuls down. That might help so you can see me. So those of you that don't know, I am Shanna. I am the CEO of Beauty for the Look of You, and I do Makeup Obsessed Mondays. Normally, it's a pre-recorded video that goes up, but like I said, today we're switching it up just a little bit. Before I jump in, I wanted to share something with you guys real quick that I literally just got in the mail, and I've not even peeked at it. We've talked about the beauty boxes before. This is a special edition one from Walmart. It is $5. That's it, $5. And you get anywhere from skincare to deodorant to beauty. It's all in that genre of stuff. But I wanted to open this one real quick on air with you guys so I can see what I have. So this one was curated by InStyle, which makes me even more excited for it. And if you are here, throw your name in the comments below because I cannot see you as you log on. And I'm trying to make sure that my app over here is actually giving me comments. So as you can see, you open the box like this, and you have an assortment of items. Right off the bat, Olay, Jody is going to be wanting this. Has put two items in. One is a body wash. This is their Cleansing Infusion Hydrating Glow Body Wash. It's crushed ginger. And then Jody has talked about this. This is the Olay Whip. This is, what one is this? This is the Regenerist, and it's the Active Moisturizer. I'm excited to try this. Jody absolutely loves this line, so I'm super excited. Next up is a deodorant. This is by Secret, and it's their Clinical Strength. I see someone left me a heart, so whoever you are, I send you a heart back. I can't see you. That's the only downside. I love this deodorant. It is a super strong deodorant. So if you struggle or summertime, it's just hot where you are, this is a great one to try out. My kids will probably snag this from me. Next is by Pantene, and this is something new. It's a foam conditioner, and this gives you volume. And I'm pretty sure you use this in the shower. You use this in the shower. This is exciting. I have seen it. I've not played around with it. So I'm going to try this out and let you guys know if I like it. Any of these products I am trying out, I will actually be posting a review on our BFF group. If you are not part of our BFF group, then you need to jump over to the Look of You when we're done here, and you need to sign up. All you need to do is click on this picture of Jody and I and enter your first name, your last name, your email address, and then verify through your email that you are not a robot. And that's it. Two more items in the box. One I've had before and I absolutely love. It is a sheet mask I found, and it's their coconut sheet mask. This leaves your skin feeling so incredibly soft. So I am so excited to get another one of these. And last up is by Crest, and it is their Whitening Therapy. I use their white strips, and I use the Colgate Whitening. It's got like a little thing on the end of your toothbrush. So I'm excited to try this out because always looking for new stuff. So that is a sneak peek, a little bit extra into what I got in the mail today. I just figured I would share it on air with you. So for $5, I got all that. I will post a link to the Walmart beauty box in the description above or beside once I am done with this so that you can check it out. Again, it's $5 a quarter. I think I said a month earlier. It's a quarter, but this was a special edition one. Okay, let's jump in. So I talk all the time about how I moisturize my face first. This is the moisturizer I'm using. I love, I just keep going back to it even though I try new things. It's by Belif. It's the True Cream Aqua Bomb. And I put this on my face about 20 minutes ago. I've let it set. and sink in so that my foundation goes on smoothly. It's not going to slip or slide any place because my foundation hasn't had a chance to absorb. So next up is priming. I'm using my tried and true Makeup Forever. This is the step 1. This is the smoothing primer. It's going to fill in fine lines. It's going to fill in my larger pores. It's going to take the little bit of texture I have on my face and kind of smooth it out a little bit. And I take just a little blob like that. I'm going to divide it between my 2 fingers, and I'm going to first pat it where I think I need it, and then I'm just going to rub it in, kind of pressing it into my skin. I see I have 2 hearts. I wish I knew who you were. So if you're leaving comments and I am not seeing them, because like I said, I'm trying out a little app down over here. If you are leaving comments and I don't see them, I will answer them after this broadcast. So I've worked my primer in. This is really right here where I need it the most. Actually, it's more like right here. Now I'm going to deal with my dark circles. This is by Garnier, and this is the, we'll see if it will get it. Clearly Brightener, and it's a tinted under eye moisturizer. So I put just a little bit right under my eyes like so, and I am just gonna pat it in. Jody actually commented on something. Most people use their ring finger to pat in because it has the least amount of pressure, but I am so uncoordinated that I have a hard time using my ring finger. So I tend to go with the middle finger. So I am not being rude. I am just doing what works for me. So, I still have yet to find a foundation that I love as much as this foundation. I know it's probably going to be too heavy in the summertime, but it's not quite summer yet. So I'm going to keep enjoying it while I can. It is the Milani Conceal and Perfect. And I am in the shade 00B, which is light. I love this because it is a medium to full coverage foundation. This will cover most everything on my face, including this redness that I have going on right here. So I am just going to do about 2.5 pumps on the back of my hand, and using my damp beauty blender, I'm going to go in and I am just going to start stippling it all over my face. And I make sure not only do I bring it down past my jawline, but I'm bringing it up to my hairline as well, because I don't want a ring around my face. Even though it's as close to my skin tone as I can get, it's still just slightly off, and I just don't want you to be able to see that. That's not a good look on anyone. Which is one of the reasons I always suggest when you are shopping for foundation and you go into a place like Ulta or Sephora, one that you can actually try it before you buy it. I recommend letting your foundation set on your face. Do a couple of little sample swipes right here and let your foundation set for a little bit. Even half an hour a lot of times is enough to let you know if it's going to oxidize. I bought this great one. I was so excited. I put it on. It felt great. It looked good for the first 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, it had gone 3 shades darker. No joke. I looked like a bad spray tan, like a really bad spray tan. And I had the lightest shade there was. And unfortunately, it was from Target and I had to return it. But if I had followed my own advice and done a little sample section, I would have known before I did almost all of my makeup and then looked back in the mirror and realized, oh, I'm orange. Legit, I'm orange. So on a normal day, I probably go a heavy medium coverage. Thursday nights, I will do a full coverage. But for the most part, on the daily, I do a good solid medium coverage. So I'm kind of pressing my beauty blender into my nose, making sure I get the areas right there on the side. And then I look and make sure I am fully covered. I'm going to take the little bit that I have left on the back of my hand and a brush, and I actually work this down my neck. It helps blend it in, and I don't have that line of demarcation right there. Concealer, I am using Urban Decay Naked Skin. This is in the shade Fair Neutral. It is going to be probably lighter than most of you will use. I am using it to brighten and highlight as well. You could go a little bit darker. I want that nice bright under eye area. And I am putting on probably a little bit heavier than most of you would as well. It's personal preference. I tend to like a little bit extra. You don't have to put nearly as much on as I do. You can do it just right where I put the Garnier to help conceal those dark circles. Or you can do it like I am, using it as not only a concealer, but a highlighter under my eyes as well. So it seems really weird to be on without my co-host. She is working right now. She is out doing stuff and promoting the business, and here I am doing makeup. So it just seems weird not having her here. So I'm going to take the same highlighter that I use, and I'm going to highlight some other points of my face, because right now I will look a little funny if I just leave what's under my eyes, the only highlighted part. So I'm going to do a little bit in the middle of my forehead, a little bit down my nose, under my nose, and I'm going to do a little bit on my chin. And as we get further along, you'll notice I'm not highlighting the areas I'm going to contour. Those are the areas I want to recede. These are the areas I want to pop out just a little bit. That is good. I am moving on to my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I absolutely love this stuff. Hands down love it. The one complaint I have with this is it is so stinking hard to get out of the packaging. I struggle with this every time. So I found if I kind of shake it like this a little bit and then go tap, 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 I can get enough out. Same beauty blender I use, I'm going to pick up a little bit of this powder and I'm pressing it under my eyes. I am baking. Those of you that are older or have a lot of fine lines or not so fine lines under your eyes might not be able to do this. I would recommend then just dusting it with a brush and powdering it this way. But you really should set your concealer, because if you don't, then it will crease even more, and we don't want that. So I've set under my eyes. I'm letting that set for just a second. I'm going to go a little bit more out. And I'm going to go in with my giant Morphe brush. And I'm going to pick up and I am just going to pat it in. I don't want to do any swiping motions yet. I want to pat to set the foundation. And once I feel like it's set, then I can go in and brush away under my eyes and make sure my face is all set. Especially where I am oily, I need to make sure that my foundation is all set, and I actually will touch my face because I can feel the difference in the areas that have been set and not set. When I set them, it feels like velvet. When I don't set them, it's tacky. So that's the base. The base is done. So I'm going to take a quick drink. In my Hello Beautiful mug that Michelle got Jody and I for Christmas. We have matching ones. I am obsessed with this mug. And coffee. I'm obsessed with the mug and the coffee. But I'm obsessed with both. Oh, moving on. I am going to do my brows. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. You ready? This is my least favorite thing that I do with my makeup. because it does not matter if I take my time and I'm precise or I do them fast. It doesn't seem to matter. I always have one that looks so much off than the other one. And I get that they're supposed to be like sisters and not twins. Mine don't even look like cousins. Mine don't even look like they came from the same part of the country. Mine look like they're on different ends and they just kind of met in the middle. So we're going to see how well I do today. I am using the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade. This is in the shade Taupe. And I am using a teeny tiny angled brush. And it has a spoolie on the other side, so you can see it like that. I'm going to brush through my brows. Make sure they're all going in the same direction. And I'm going to start on the under part of my brow. And I am going to draw a really faint line as to where the bottom of my brow starts. I think part of my problem is my hair is so light and I have like patchy areas here. So there are times it's not even like coloring where I just like outline the picture. I feel like I'm creating a whole new picture in that area. And sometimes I do it one way and sometimes I do it another way. So I'm going to make sure I line up and I do the same on the other side. Kind of like so. And I'm not gonna obsess today. I have been known to take upwards of half an hour to do my brows. I promise you today I will not do that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same on the top. Very lightly. I don't want a strong, harsh line. I want just a little bit of a line so I can go back and color it in. They're similar. I hate that I don't think I can see your comments. We're gonna have to figure this out. Like I can see hearts, which is great. I love hearts. Hearts are my favorite. But I can't see if you're commenting. I feel disconnected. Oh, yeah, hello. We're gonna like fix the line that we just made up there. That's why, Shanna, we don't make facial expressions while we're doing our brows. That is a good piece of wisdom there. Don't make facial expressions while you're doing your brows. So I'm just filling it in. On the larger areas, I'm actually putting my brush flat to fill it in. And then as I go further into the tail, I use more of the edge and the tip. And then I get lighter as I come in because I don't want it, you know, full darkness from here to here. I want it to be lighter and get darker as it goes. And then on the very, very end, I'm going to draw just little hair-like strokes to mimic what I have going on already. And then brushing up and out to work the product through my brows. And I am going to take a brush and just kind of rub away that little mishap we had. So for the most part with your brows or mascara, if you let it dry a little bit and then go in with a dry brush, it will brush the product away. I use that tip for mascara a lot. And if you hear my pup in the background playing, she's around playing with her toys. Today is real life. I have kids coming home from school. I have a husband that is, again, Shanna, with the expressions, that's coming home from work. I have animals all about. It is alive in my household today. Not that we're not usually, but you know, Thursday nights, it's a little bit different type of live. The animals are put up. The kids are off doing their thing. Hubby's usually down working in his office, and it's Jody and I. Today, it is life. Okay. I think that is about as good as we're going to get with these. Like I said, I promise I will not obsess over them today like I normally do. So brows are done. I'm looking a little bit odd with just my foundation and my brows on right now. So I am going to tackle eyeshadow. And for that, I'm going to use 2 palettes. And no, I am not going to use the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. As much as I normally grab for it, I figured I'd switch it up for you guys today. And I'm going to use 2 different palettes. I'm going to use this one from Sephora. It's called the Easy on the Eyes. It has a lot of wonderful neutrals. And then for some color, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. This is part of their Chromatic eyeshadow palette. I reviewed this in a 1-in-1 a few weeks ago. I absolutely love this palette. Not only does it have Pantone's color of the year, which is this beautiful purple, but it's got a lot of great everyday shades if you don't want to quite go electric. Oh, here we go. Electric purple on a regular basis. I think electric purple is great on a regular basis. Hence the reason I'm going to use it today. So I have my brushes out, and I'm going to show you the Sephora palette. For those of you that love neutrals, this is the palette for you. Oh, can we get it? There we go. It is, for the most part, neutrals, and then down in, where are we? This corner over here, you have a little bit more pops of color. But for your everyday neutrals, this is great. So I'm going to take the Morphe M412 brush, which I use all the time. It is a fluffy domed brush. And I am going to go into this shade right here. That is going to be my transition color. It's the shade, it's the shade number 11 in the palette. And I am just putting this literally all over my lid. On Thursday nights, I will prime my lids all the time. On the daily, I don't always do that. So a shade like this, that's pretty close to my skin color, is great because I can put it all over my lid from my lashes to my brows. And while it won't cancel out all of this discoloration on my lid, it will do a really good job of smoothing out a lot of it. Okay, so then I'm going to drop down to the next shade, which is a little bit more rosy in color. This is shade number 16. Same brush, not switching it out, not cleaning it off. Just going to pick up a little bit of that, and now I'm going to start working that more into my crease. Great thing about this palette is it's so buildable. So the colors can come off really pale, and if that's what you like, it's perfect. But if you want a little bit more intense color, you can easily build this up to get a little bit more color payoff. So I'm just doing windshield wiper motions back and forth right above my natural crease. And then I'm going to take a natural hair brush. This is a Morphe M521. It needs to be clean. Don't judge my brushes. I've not had time to do the deep cleanings I normally do. But I know I'm not alone. How many of us have like hugely busy lives? I have a senior that tells you where we're at in life right now. Someone said hello. Well, hello back. I wish I could see what beautiful person is talking to me. But hey. Okay, so I think I'm going to jump over to the shade 24. I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to jump, where are we? I'm going to jump over to this one. I'm pretty sure anyways. This one. There we go. I'm like, wow, it's all backwards on camera, Shannon. It's all backwards. And then when we drop our brush, we're just going to pick up a different one, and we're going to go with it. This is the Morphe M411. It's pretty similar to the one we were using. It's just like the junior version of it. So I'm going to pick up shade 24, and I'm going to go just below, but overlapping slightly, where I put the shade 16. Or maybe this is the shade 19. I don't know. I will have it all listed for you. And for those of you that are on the BFF board, there will be shopping links to all of the products. So I am just putting this right above, like barely above, but mostly in my natural crease. And I'm going to start building up the outer V. And by outer V, I mean this section right here. And here, we're going to make literally a V right here. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And then I'm going to go back in and blend. Blending is the key to these really well done, seamless eye looks. It's not necessarily drugstore or high end. It's not, I mean, it is how many you use, but to an extent, you can use 2 eyeshadows and still achieve an amazing look. But if you don't blend, it's going to look choppy. So I'm going to just make sure I am all blended out. And I'm going to set this palette aside. And I am going to go into the e.l.f. palette. I'm going to go into the shade right here, the one next to the bright purple. And I am going to put that almost exactly where I put the other one. It's similar in color, it's just a little bit more intense. And we're just slowly building up the intensity of this eye look. And again, I'm just going to blend it all in. So I told you that it is life right now, like it's live and it's life. And I just saw a beautiful little face like pop their head around the corner to see what Mom was doing. Hey, boo. We're live. Can you wave to me? I gotta wave. I feel special. She has no clue what's going on. She came home to this whole setup. Okay. So as you can see, I'm filling in the V just a little bit. And again, I'm blending this look out. I don't want any harsh lines. And on this eye, I have no clue why this eye likes to give me trouble. This eye blends great. This eye, it's like I get a little crease right here. So I have to very gently just make my lid a little taut and it will blend it out. So I'm going to move on to this one right here. Same brush that I am using, or that I was using for the last one. But I am only going to put this on the lid and my outer V. And as you can see, I am doing patting motions. The darker the color gets, the less I want it to fall down in here. And in order to achieve that, if you pat the color on as opposed to brushing it on, you're less likely to get fallout, which is where the shadow falls down right here. But if you do get fallout, I am going to show you here in a second what you can do to make sure you don't end up with multicolored freckles, because freckles are cute, but not when they're your eyeshadow. So I'm patting it on, and then again, you know what I'm going to say. We're going to blend it. And then I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. So I have a secret. Sometimes I will manipulate my brushes to do what I want them to do. These two brushes are the exact same brush. I took this brush from e.l.f. This is their eye crease brush. And I absolutely, let's see, we'll do it this way. I absolutely love this brush. This is a great brush, and I use this brush all the time. but I wanted it to be a little bit flatter and narrow. So all I did was I took a pair of pliers and I squeezed it. And what that did was it changed the shape of the brush. So instead of being a round brush like that, I have a flat brush like that. I don't know if you can see them. Oh, kind of. So don't be afraid to do that. If you can't find the brush that you want to do what you want it to do, sometimes you can make it. So I am taking the one that I have flattened, and I am going to go in with the shade right here, the one we just used. But I am going to put this on the inner part of my eye right here. I am going to leave this middle section right here blank. I want a little bit of this darker maroon right here. And this was why I created this brush, because it is the perfect little brush to pack on color. It's flat, it really gets in there, and I didn't have a brush that did that. But I happen to have two of these, so I made it. I'm going to, again, blend, and I'm just going to tap that blank area just to make sure the edges of these shadows are blended also. I'm going to use the purple color. I'm so excited. I love this color on the eyes, especially for spring. I think it's beautiful. I am actually going to take the concealer brush by e.l.f. This is just a flat little brush. I love it for packing on color. So I'm going to go into my purple shade right there. And I am going to press this purple shade onto my eyelid. If I wanted a more intense look, I would wet my brush, but it's during the day on a Monday. So I tend to keep it a little bit more subtle some of the time. And I'm kind of pressing the shadow into my lid. And I am doing what's called a halo. All right, so as you can see, I have, maybe you can see, right here, I have Fallout, and it's bright purple, and I don't want bright purple freckles. I'm taking the big powder brush I used earlier. It still has a little bit of powder on it. Very, very, very gently. I'm going to hold it by the very end of the handle. I'm going to lightly brush it away. The further down you hold, the lighter your touch will be as opposed to here. So by holding it way down at the end, I have a very light pressure and it lets me just brush it away. And then this is where I just go in and I kind of tap to blend out the edges. All right, that's good. Moving on to the lower lash line, I am using a Carity brush. This is the E26 brush. It is a flat shader brush, like so. It's dense, it has a very blunt tip. It is perfect for that lower lash line, which is exactly what I'm going to use it for. I am going in with the shade right here, the one that we've been using. I'm going to tap off my excess like we always do. And I'm going to start wiggling my brush back and forth along my lower lash line. Making sure, let me pick up a little more shadow, I connect this part right here to the lower lash line. And I'm going to do the same on this eye. Then I'm going to clean one of my brushes off. I am going to clean the little e.l.f. brush I used off, and I have this. This is from Sephora. It's called a Color Switch, and it is a really rough sponge. And what's great is I can swirl my brush inside of this, and it will take off most of the color on my brush. So I don't have to necessarily clean it between uses, which is great. So I can have one brush and go in between multiple colors. I'm actually going to pick up this really light, warm toned brown, and I'm going to use this just a little bit underneath that shadow I just put on my lower lash line, and I'm going to blend it out a little bit. And that's what makes for a really well done smoky eye, is blending it out. So instead of just having a harsher line, it's blended down in. That is my shadow for today. I'm going to go in and tight line really fast. I'm just going to tight line my upper lid. I tend to not do a lot of eyeliner above my eyelashes because I have hooded eyes, and it can take the little bit of space that you see and make it go shoot, so you don't really see much of my eyeshadow. So I tend to just stick with tight lining. It makes my lashes look fuller. It makes it so that way when you put when you put your mascara on, that's what it's called, and it's really dark, and then you can see, like, excuse me, the skin down at the root. If you put your Kohl liner up to your lash line and wiggle back and forth, it's going to fill that in so you don't see that. So what that does is that makes your lashes look fuller and thicker. Fun note, my daughters can't stand when I tight line watching me because they say it looks like I'm drawing on my eye. I think I've just done it that much that I don't have to do it any other way. If you can't do it that way, you can very gently hold your lashes up and then go in like that. I'm going to leave mascara till the very end because if I make a mistake, I will have more powder here. It's easier to wipe it away. So I am going to go in to contouring. You don't have to contour. Like I said, this is, for the most part, an everyday face for me. I contour and bronze every day. For that, I am using the Anastasia contour kit. This is light to medium. You can see it is well loved on the outside and on the inside. I've hit pan on this one right here, and I'm so close to pan on this one right here. And it's really great when you realize that your contouring brush is downstairs. So we are going to make do with a brush that we have up here. So I am going to use the Morphe M173. It is just a little domed brush like this. And I am going to go into this shade right here. It is the coolest one in the palette. And that's what I want for a contour. And I'm just going to work it into the hollows of my cheeks right here. Depending on your face shape is where you want to contour. And we actually have a blog over on our website that talks about contouring and your face shape. And I will link that in the description box when I'm done. So I'm just working this into the hollows of my cheeks. And I know right now it's looking like I just have a line. Like that. I'm going to blend it in. I'm not going to leave it like that. And I'm going to put a little bit up here on my forehead. And then what I do is when I don't have any, well, I have some product, but I've not dipped in. I've put it up here, and I'm going to connect the two like this. I'm going to do the famous Kardashian 3. We're going to make a 3 on our face. So this is the first part of the 3. And then the second part of the 3 is going to come like this. So it's right like this. But I don't pick up any additional product when I come down here. It's just really faint. I'll show you again over here. So I'm putting my contour right here. Not picking up any additional product, and I am just bringing it down and making that 3. And then I'm going to pick up a teeny tiny contour brush from e.l.f. and a little bit more of that shade, and I contour my nose. I do this because it makes my nose more slender, and it is a nose job without the surgery. And I know I'm not alone in wanting just a little bit smaller nose. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So for me, I contour down either side of the bridge of my nose, right like that. And then a little bit on the sides right here. I don't bring it down. It's just a little bit here. Because what your contour does is it makes that area fade in. So for me, it just slims down my nose a little bit. And then on my nose, I am using a Real Techniques brush and just very lightly blending it in. And then for my face, I'm going to use a BH Cosmetics stippling brush. And I'm going to blend, but I'm going to lay it flat like this. And I'm going to do circular motions, and I push it upward. I don't want to bring it down. That's going to make my face look drawn down and saggy, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to push it up and blend it in. And then up here, circular motions up into my hairline, and then blend out my 3. And I do the same on this side. And as you can see, it's there, it's contoured, but it's not that harsh line anymore. And now I'm going to warm my face up with bronzer. So contouring, you always use a cooler toned brown. You don't want to use a warmer brown to contour. But for bronzing, that's when you want to bring in a little bit of that sun-kissed look, and that's what I'm going to do. So I am actually using the same contour kit, and I am taking a Real Techniques blush brush, and I am just going to swipe across the bronzers, all of them, all 3 like that, and very lightly put it a little bit over where I did it, where I did the contour. I'm doing circular motions and blending up. Again, I'm not coming down past this line. And then with the little bit of product that's left on my brush, I'm going to put it up on my temples again. I'm not creating a 3 with this. I am just bronzing where the sun would kind of naturally hit the high points of my face. While I have this palette open, I'm going to go into my much loved shade right there. And I am just going to brighten under my eyes a little bit more. I sweep it over, down, and then just kind of fill in where I had my concealer. And this just brightens a little bit, and it also helps if I had any fallout that discolored. It kind of helps conceal it and brush it away. Moving on to blush. We talked about blush this week. We talked about 80s blush being on trend right now, and while I am not rocking an 80s blush style this week, I am rocking a color that was really big in the 80s, and it is that Brick Road shade. This is Rockature by Benefit. I absolutely love this blush so much that I have hit pan on it. There, you can see that. I think this is a beautiful Dusty Rose everyday shade. I am taking my e.l.f. blush brush. I am swirling and then tapping off my extra because I don't want the line of the 80s blush that we showed on Thursday night. I'm going to start up near my hairline because that's where I want it darkest and I want it to fade as it comes in. So remember, wherever you put your brush down first, that's where it's going to be darkest. So if I were to go right here on the apples of my cheeks, it would be darkest here. I don't want that for my face shape. I want the darkest being here by my hairline and then pulling it down. And then once I've done my line here, whatever's left, I'm going to put on the apples of my cheeks and draw up. And I'm going to repeat for the other side. Same stippling brush, I just make sure we're all blended. Now that I have all that done on my face, now I can go in with my mascara. So I'm going to start by curling my lashes because unfortunately mine do not curl naturally on their own. They kind of stick out straight. So give them a quick curl. And I'm going to go in with my two favorite mascaras that I absolutely love. This is the Tartist by Tarte. And I'm going to use this one on my upper lash line. And for that, I need to make my mirror a little bit more magnified. And I'm going to go in and brush it on. And then once I have all my lashes coated, then I'm going to get close to the root and I'm going to wiggle the brush back and forth. Kind of tease them eyelash hairs so that I have more than I do. Or it looks like it. Just going to take a spoolie. This one I only use for a mascara. And I'm going to go in and make sure my lashes aren't clumped. I've moved the product all around and dispersed it. And I do this until I am happy. Which, let me tell you, my lashes look so sad now since all of my extensions have fallen off. It was really, really sad. I loved them so much and could easily get addicted to them. The only reason I did not go back and have Jessica give me a fill up is because I cannot use mascara. And it is so hard for me to not have a product I cannot review for you guys, especially where it's the time of year where so many are releasing all of these new products, including mascara. And I couldn't try some of them and it was killing me. Needless to say, I was able to pick some of them up and I am now trying them and I will be telling you what I think of them. But until then, I'm sticking with my tried and true. On to my other eye. All right, so all of you watching, is it just me or those of you that are side sleepers, the side that you sleep on, do those lashes just not cooperate as much for you? Because I swear I sleep on this side and these lashes are always giving me the darndest time in looking good. They don't want to curl as much. I tend to have more breakage on the side, which that I can understand, but I'm like, come on guys, at least like work with me here. But they don't like to. Okay. Top lashes are done. On to lower lashes, which I'm using the Wet n Wild Super Skinny, what is it? Mega Slim Skinny Mascara. I am almost out of this. I have used it to where it is just not covering like it used to. I need to go get another one. It is only available at Walgreens. So for those of you that have not been able to find it, check a Walgreens or order online. This is hands down my favorite mascara for the lower lash line. It has little fibers in it. And it's even better when you don't poke yourself in the eye with it. It has little fibers, so it makes them little hairs just stand out even more. But it's so slim, I can really get in there tight. And that's something I can't do with the Tarteist. The wand is just too big for my eyes in that little area. And I know I've shown you before, but I'm just going to show you again. The difference in the wand sizes. It is amazing. Like, look at that. This one is the Tarteist, and that is the Wet n Wild. And it's like the mom and the baby. I mean, it's just, there is just no comparison. So that's why this one is perfect for that lower lash line. Okay, so I'm going to take a brush and clean up where I blinked when I poked myself in the eye. And that's all you have to do. It's that easy to clean up your smudge mascara. We have one thing left. I love it almost as much as I love doing my eye makeup, and it is highlighters. And we talked about what is big this year for highlighters, and it's natural, it is golden, and it is halo. So I cannot rock a golden highlight on my face. The gold doesn't work with my undertones, and it makes me look sickly. And I love me a good halo highlighter, but on the daily, it looks a little out of place. So for that, I am going to go more with a natural highlighter. This is by Milani, and this is their Afterglow Strobe Light. This is in the shade 01. And I love this one for so many reasons. It is so pretty. Anyone can wear it. It's just subtle. And it does not have chunky glitter in it. I love highlight. I love glitter. I don't want them to be married. I want them to stay separate. Whoever thought that putting glitter in a highlighter was a good thing is not thinking the same thing I am, because it can really accent those fine lines. And they do that enough on their own. I don't want to give them any help. I am looking for my brush. I need to take a picture of this so y'all can see it and see how many brushes I truly do have out. So I'm going to take a nice fluffy brush like this. You can use a larger one or a smaller one. I am doing a very precise highlight, so I don't want to go big. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of my product, and I'm going to place it exactly where I want it on the high points of my cheek. And one of the reasons I like this product is it is buildable. So if you want a really subtle highlight, one pass and you've got that lit from within. 2 passes and you have that nice natural highlight going on. 3 passes and you are blinding people. A smaller brush like this, I can definitely control where I put it. I also have a big fan brush. That's when I want it a little bit more over the whole face. I'm just gonna pat it in, and I think that's good. Great thing, this brush, I flip it over and it has a pencil tip on the other side. I'm going to use the same highlighter, and I'm going to highlight under my brow bone. And I'm going to highlight the inner corner of my eyes. And because it's not enough, I'm going to put just a little bit over that purple that we have on our lids, just to make it pop all that much more. Yay! Finishing off my eye look is Jody's favorite product, lips. I have to admit, like, this is like the last thing I do for several reasons. One, obviously it's your lip. It's one of the last things you do. Two, half the time I forget to put it on until I'm in the car going someplace and I'm like, oh shoot, I need to put a lip on, because let's face it, we all have the things that we like the most. And for me, lips aren't one of them until I tried these. It is by YSL. And let me tell you, these things last like almost all day. They go on so easily and they feel like nothing's there. How many of us have had the lipsticks on where it's so thick when you go like this, you can feel it? Like you have to like work to get your lips apart, and that's just not a good thing. Or the ones where half of it disappears like 10 minutes in and you're left with this like ring around your lips. That was great in the 90s. That trend has not come back. It's tried, but it's not, and we don't need to help it. These last. They don't have the sticky feeling. They dry down wonderfully without over drying. So she got me hooked, and now I want to go and buy all of the matte ones. She is more of a glossy girl. I prefer a matte lip. You do whatever you like, but these are phenomenal. They are worth the money. I am just filling in my lips. And one of the reasons we love this so much is the tip. So let's see if I can get it so you can see it. It is a teeny, teeny, tiny tip, and it's great because you can use it to line your lips as well as fill in. And that is it. That is my finished product. When I say I don't wear makeup every day, I don't. But when I do, for the most part, this is the type of look that I do. It's a little bit more intense than most of you would do, but you maybe can do a takeaway on a tip or a product here and there. Like I said, this is a good medium to full, not full coverage, but a full medium coverage. You can definitely see some of my skin. I'm not going to call them imperfections. They're the characteristics of my skin. So I hope you guys had fun. I wish I could see the comments. I have no clue if you all have been commenting. And like I said, I will go back and answer your comments. So even if you see this after the fact that I was live, feel free to comment. Until a Thursday night, guys, be beautiful, because you are definitely the only you. Bye, guys.